Welcome to NASDAQ Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at NASDAQ. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, we have Rusty Vanneman. He's the Chief Investment Officer at Orion Advisor. We're going to take a look at non-transparent ETFs. Interesting, non-transparent ETFs. You don't think of that in, capital markets. Everything's talking about transparency.
Yep.
What are non-transparent ETFs, and where is this demand coming from?
Well, first of all, when it comes to ETFs, of course, transparency has always been one of the virtues to them. And it's been kind of the idea behind why ETFs basically always trade at their net asset value. And so I think the demand has really come from two different places, obviously from the investors themselves and also from the manufacturers. What is happening is that the mutual fund industry is under siege from ETFs. And you just can't, they haven't really been able to bring a lot of their strategies to the ETF format because they've been passively managed to a benchmark. And these non-transparent ETFs give them ability to bring some of these strategies into the ETF world. I think obviously manufacturers love it, but I think investors are going to love it too.
Do you think there'll be efforts to cater to institutional investors, or is this strictly a retail product? What is this designed to do?
I think all of the above, quite frankly. The format is attractive because the ETF format is really the better technology than mutual funds. Mutual funds are great and they still work in a lot of areas, but the ETFs are a better vehicle. First of all, they're able to bring down the overall cost, but they're also attractive because the tax costs are a lot lower as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, model portfolios. Financial advisors are increasingly using this. It takes a lot of the work out for them so they can focus on their clients. Do you think non-transparent ETFs have a place in model portfolios?
Yes, and the reason why, because model portfolios, there's a lot of great model portfolios out there. I mean, there's a lot of people engineering portfolios that make a lot of sense. But one thing you kind of need with a lot of these model portfolios is the story. Why are they going to work? And a lot of these non-transparent ETFs are going to bring strategies that have been successful in the mutual fund world into the ETF world. And I think that's a way to kind of add value to the portfolios and maybe give an edge in performance in some cases, and definitely an edge in telling a story about a model portfolio.
Mm-hmm. And to wrap up here, what investors are best for non-transparent ETF?
Well, I'm biased towards ETFs in general, and I think ETFs can work for all investors, but really one of the biggest advantages of ETFs over mutual funds is that taxable advantage.
Right.
So the easiest answer are taxable investors should really be using ETFs over mutual funds, but again, ETFs make a lot of sense for everybody.
They sure do. Thank you so much, Rusty, for joining us at MarketSite. And thank you for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at NASDAQ.